Hi guys, my name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Like I said in the previous video, it's a Sunday morning. Alexa, what's the time please?
It's 9:54 a.m.
Right, my mum phoned earlier on. I haven't picked up the phone. I don't listen to the answer phone messages. I'm just getting on with my life now. I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be upset. I don't want to do bad things. So there you go. Right. So I'm gonna have lunch today. I'm not hungry. I've spoken to Kim in the co-op. I've had a chat. The guy called Robbo is talking to me at the moment, which is on my other phone. And what has Robbo, what's it been like? Last night was okay. I was able to have a sleep. I'm going through the menopause, which is hot flushes, so I'm up and down. I'm up and down like most of the night anyway, getting up, sponging myself down, because hot sweats are uncomfortable. They make you hot sweat and you itch because the heat makes you sweat and then you itch. So I'm up and down trying to cool myself up most of the night anyway. So I'm awake on and off about every hour, getting up and like trying to cool myself down. I got up last night and I opened the window, and there was really cold air coming through, but I was feeling so hot that I needed to open the window. And you can hear people coming back from drinking and going out, but I was so hot I had no choice. So yeah, I went out after getting that funeral plan. And we go back to yesterday. I, as you well know, that I had a conflict with the guy upstairs because of the noise. I had a bit of a conflict with him, and I left a note on his doorstep, and then I apologised, and he completely ignored it. It's very awkward when you are at loggerheads with somebody and you have to walk past them, and you live in the same block of flats as them. It's very awkward. So as I went, my post box is 5. So yesterday when I went out, I bumped into the guy I've got a beef with. Well, I haven't got beef with him. I'm just getting on with my life and ignoring it. But I've had like issues with this guy. So I come down the stairs. A bloke with ginger hair has just come up the stairs with his daughter. They've got sunglasses on, and he's carried a wheelchair up. I come down the stairs after the guy's carried this wheelchair up the stairs, go to my post box, and the guy that I've had issues with is coming through the door. He's coming through the door in a pair of grey shorts, and I'm just stood at the post box, and I don't take out the funeral plan. I don't know what it is yet. So I'm stood rigid by the post box. Max has barked to alert me someone's there, and he's not a noisy dog. Dogs bark, they just bark when they see somebody. I had a dog bark at me yesterday. So I stood there. I looked at his face, and he walked past me and through the communal area and up the stairs, and I walked out the front way. But it's awkward. It's very awkward because I'm a woman and he's quite a stout guy. So I walked out, and that's when I walked out, opened up my post. It said Crystal Marshall to me, the funeral plan. And I walked out after receiving this funeral plan, past the neighbour that I'd had issues with, And then I walked onto the field, and then that's when I felt awkward and a bit afraid. I came back into the flat and everything was quiet. There was no noise, there was nothing, nothing. No noise to complain about, nothing. And it's been relatively good, very quiet upstairs, and I've got no issues. And if it stays like that, that's fine. But I won't be intimidated. I mean, why should we live in fear in our own homes? Why should we? It's not grassing. If it's affecting your health to the point where you feel really ill, you've got to seek help about it. And it was making me ill. The noise was making me ill. It's not at this moment in time. It wasn't yesterday. But over the New Year period, it was awful. The weekend before this one, it was terrible. And it was making me feel ill. And if I'm not being intimidated, and I'm not lying, and if people want to send me funeral plans and put skulls in the lift, that's up to them. But that's the sort of thing my dad used to do. My dad used to do that. He used to send people funeral flowers when he had an argument with him. And they used to send things, that's the type of thing my dad used to do when he disagreed with somebody. Send them funeral flowers and funeral plans in the post. Something my late father used to do to people. It's not very nice. I am a woman living alone. It feels awful. The atmosphere feels awful. And I wanted a fresh start to move into this flat, and I don't know what the problem is he had with me, or has, or whatever, but I mean, I just want it to stop. That's all. So I've gone into the co-op. Kim's given me flowers. We have carnations. Alexa, what flowers do you put on a funeral coffin?
From agrograduates.com. The traditional flowers used in most funerals are a combination of roses and carnations.
So roses and carnations they put on funerals. I imagine that the guy upstairs had gone to the co-op yesterday or come back from the shop. I'd been to the co-op. Kim had given me flowers. She's given me flowers this morning. I could hear coughing from upstairs, coughing. And I'm not ugly. I look normal for a middle-aged woman. Dog, again, tied up to the co-op, a black and white dog. I will not be intimidated. I've got every right to go into a shop. I shower daily. And, I wish people would stop picking on me. It's not going back to the way it was. I'm not shouting and screaming, banging the ceiling. I'm not going up and down the road yelling. I'm not Jennifer. I'm not mentally ill. I love my mum to bits. She's my mum. But I'm not acting the part of a smelly old lady, because that's what they've put me into, this smelly old lady. And I don't know why my mum is dressing the way she does. I have spoken to her about it. My mother, wearing old man's jeans. She looks like a combination of a man and a woman. She'll wear a low-cut top, Jennifer will. Really, really large jeans folded up at the bottom that are far too big for her. And she would look so much nicer if she dressed like the age she is and the woman that she is. Because she looks like, as she does now, it's wrong. And I know she's been abused in the past by one of her mental health workers. She's told me used to do things she didn't want him to do, right? And sometimes when a woman is abused, she will cover herself up and not go out being the woman that she is because she's afraid of men abusing and touching her. I understand that, because when I was a kid, when my father Derek was abusing me, I would go out in the summer with a thick coat on, thick trousers and numerous tops because he was touching me, and I didn't want to encourage it. And I was 13 and I almost got anorexic because I was being abused. I wouldn't eat. I just. And when you keep calling someone fat and ugly, you go from one end to the other. From being a normal size, you go to anorexic, and you look like a skeleton. Who wants to look pale in the face like a bloody skeleton and ill? This is all bullying does. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't make anything better. It makes things 10 times worse. You drive people to suicide and you make them from being a good, decent weight to a fucking anorexic stick. So this bullying is just bullshit. I'm not listening to it. I'm getting on with the rest of my life. There's fucking nothing wrong with me. There was nothing wrong with Princess Diana. It's just bullying. People get a bee in their bonnet about something. They can't take criticism. They can't take you asking them the simple things like, just respect other people. So they have to start a bullying campaign, a hatred campaign, and make someone's life a misery because they had the audacity to ask you something. I mean, really? It's not a game, it's my life, right? I go into a shop like everybody else does to get the newspaper, to get something to eat. I don't go in there to get judged by my looks, for people to come in and play act, dress up in clothes that I used to wear, and I've grown up now because I'm a middle-aged woman. I'm not going to go into a shop dressed like a tart, shorts right up to my crutch and my boobs hanging out. I'm fucking 54 for fuck's sake. Yeah, I'll do it for to make myself feel good. And I'll do it for like a photo shoot and put it on Instagram and Facebook, but I certainly don't go down the street with half my clothes on. And sex, right? Sex, right? It should be enjoyed by two people that love each other. It shouldn't be like, I've bonked as many women as possible and they're a notch on my belt, or she looks good. She's got a nice bum, she's got a nice pair of tits. We're human beings, not fucking tarts. Men are as well. Women do it to men. They can sexually, all sexy and pinch a bloke's bottom. Men don't like it either. We're human beings, and everything is sexualized. It's sexualized. It sells. Sex sells. It sells newspapers. It sells magazines. Sex does. Women with half their clothes on, right? But not all women are like that. It's a bonus. I've got a big pair of boobs. But people don't look. They don't listen to what you're saying. They look at the boobs. Big boobs, big tits. They're not listening to what I'm saying. They're just watching it to look at my tits. I don't see anything else but tits. And when you think about it, what are a women's breasts for? What are they for? They're to feed a baby. God made man, God made woman. God made us different. God made men to reproduce. To have sex so that women could reproduce. And the lineage goes on. Babies. Tits were for feeding a baby. They produce milk, don't they? Feed baby. They feed babies. They aren't really sexual at all. So when women want to breastfeed in public, I don't see any problem with that, because that's what breasts are for. They produce milk to feed a baby. But because everything is so fucking damn sexualised, and men see tits as something sexual, women, are afraid sometimes to feed their babies in public because a man will stand and stare. But you've got to remember that breasts, bosoms were made for feeding a baby. We sexualise children. Girls put makeup on. They're like minis of little models. And some parents put their child on the stage. They use them as models. They fucking get fame out of their children and make money out of their children. And that money should go to the child when they're an adult. So any parent that's making money out of a child through fashion, through modelling, through TV should be putting that into an account for their child. And I don't agree with that. Child actresses, child models. A child hasn't fully grown. Does that child really want to do that? Right? Some parents force their children. My dad forced me to do things and I didn't want to do them. I didn't want to study that, do that and that, and children are forced into it. Forced. Judge people by their looks. Judge people with their looks. Sexualise women, they sexualise men as well. And a good-looking man becomes gay, and when he's not, he's called gay when he isn't, because he's doing a bit of fashion. He's called gay. He's not gay at all, he's just expressing himself. We've got transgender people being attacked for expressing themselves, murdered, because there's this stereotype of how we all should look, how all we should be. This, and we're not. We're all different. We've all got flaws. So keep on laughing at me, taking the piss, making out I'm a mad, smelly old lady, and you're making me old before my time. I've got no company, no boyfriend, and keep shoving sex in my face. I haven't had sex for years. Because I think sex should be between two people that love each other. Right? I don't go around sleeping with different men, or making a fucking fool of myself, or dropping dead drunk in the street and fucking having sex with blokes outside because I'm as drunk as a cunt. I don't do that. And it might make me boring. And it might make people take the piss. But I'm me. I'm not you. And you're you, you're not me. Be your own self. And it's alright to copy other people. It's alright to copy their clothes, copy their hair, and copy their mannerisms, the way they walk, copying the way somebody walks down the road and doing all that. Haven't you got lives to live? Haven't you got your own lives to live? You're wasting your life and you're wasting mine. As someone said to me, I'm a woman, I've got a load of stuff that I could share with society, I could be somebody, and you've trapped me in this prison of being a smelly old lady, and I won't do it. It's not fair, it's not nice, it's horrible living this way. And the only way I can stop it is to ignore it and ignore you. Who's doing it to me? Ignore you. And there's no place on you for my YouTube. If you're taking the fucking piss out of me, being a stupid idiot, there's no place on you for my YouTube. See you later. Bye.